added up to 15.
That's not good. Oh, my goodness gracious. Harlan, what's going on?
Harlan's back in the chat. He's going to be real mad when I tell him I'm going to GP Montreal instead of the team open in Louisville.
Ooh.
But I might still go to Louisville. I don't know yet. I don't know.
Drama.
I kind of want to jam out the team thing. Maybe I'll crush Richmond and I won't need to do the silver thing anymore.
I'm hoping to do the same. So, good morning, good afternoon, everybody in the chat. As I said before, this is episode 17.
Good evening if you're in Europe.
That's true. That's why Kevin's here. For those.
I'm big in Europe.
For whoever, yeah, you are big in Europe.
I get a lot of friend requests from
God.
From Dutch Magic players, Italian Magic players.
Hey, the daddy's worldwide.
Daddy is big in Europe.
We need to get
El
the step.
Daddy International.
Can we get the Step Brothers clip from Prestige Worldwide? World. We might go out on that. That's what I was gonna go out on something else, but we were gonna go out on something. So we got a lot to talk about today. We've got SCG Atlanta, as you talked about, your random assortment of numbers, which we'll get into.
One of my teammates crushed it, 11-4, with the most unplayable deck ever, according to Patrick Sullivan.
I thought you weren't on the same team as Andrew Jessup. Oh, you're not talking about the guy who won the trophy.
No, I don't care about that.
That guy.
He's just lucky he didn't have to play the daddy again.
Oh, man. I love it.
I said that in my article. I said it was a long time coming. It's not like Andrew could have to play against me in the finals again.
This is very true. This is very true. So we're going to get into that. We're going to go into a little segment called Interwebz where the daddy's got the bat, and he is a little upset about a few things.
Say about the way the world works these days.
Yeah. And so we're going to give him a little platform to do it. And
we got Kevin Jones, we got Dan Ward, and we got
Scott Father.
Garbage Hat back in the building.
Garbage Hat.
So you don't know the story, right?
I don't know. Are we going into a story?
It's a short story to start the show.
We're starting with the story. Story time.
So those of you who follow me on social media, and if you don't, you should, because I'm great follow. I'm great. Super famous. Really good at broadcasting, marketing myself.
Hit him up on Twitter, KJ vs. the Highway. Just saying, hashtag
Kevin Jones on Facebook. Got too many Facebook friends, but that's okay. I like all of you.
I thought this year's motto was no new friends, no new friends, no new friends. Stay down with people. All right, story time. Back to the ranch.
So yesterday on Facebook, I had a bit of a dilemma, and I decided to consult the internet for some help. I said, I had a softball game yesterday. It was the first one for this league. Tuesday night league, Town of Ulster softball league. Shout out to that. It's a great place. Awesome time. But
are you a pitcher or catcher?
I'm an outfielder.
Oh, okay.
Run into a wall, outfielder. What is that from? That's Drake, right?
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, so the season started yesterday. Came right from work to the field. Had a little bit of rain. I wanted to help my friends who run the league. I wanted to help them work on the field a little bit, get some of the stuff ready for the games. Make sure everybody could play because everybody loves to play. I've been waiting all winter, so. Went right from work to the field, didn't have time to go and get my hat, so I had a bit of a dilemma. I had to figure out, using the help of the internet, what hat I was going to wear to my game. Okay. And I had 3 options. Option 1, wear my Kerwin's hat.
Okay.
Option 2, wear this hat I found in the garbage after a softball tournament a few weeks ago. Option 3, go out of the way to get my hat from home.
Okay.
My athletic hat.
The
gray one with the mesh back.
The fact that you're taking stuff out of the garbage and then considering to wear it is something I wouldn't do. But the fact that you took it out of the garbage and then you're still contemplating wear it, so why would you take it out if you're just not going to wear it?
Well, I was going to wash it and then wear it. That was the idea.
And then the fourth thing, you just couldn't go, you have to have a hat? You can't go bald daddy?
Ah!
Ooh, whoa, now I get
That's
it.
my answer to your question. All right, so I put this on Facebook, and the overwhelming response was wear the garbage hat.
Okay.
Almost everyone. The only people who said not to wear the garbage hat were Seagal and my mom.
It could be good luck garbage hat.
There was one other person who said don't wear a hat because it's a night game, but that person doesn't know what they're talking about.
Sure, and you're plus 5 ability with.
They were like, "Don't wear a hat," and I was like, "Ah!"
Give me my bat.
So almost everyone, like 80% of responders, said garbage hat.
You see how I did like the Dark Knight bat there? Who's afraid of
This
a big black bat?
Is
or
the
hat?
garbage hat. This is the garbage hat. I found it in a garbage can after a softball tournament at the field a few weeks ago.
Are you gonna like just make the hat famous and be like hashtag garbage hat like everywhere now?
Yeah, I'm gonna wear it to
everywhere
opens
you
and
go.
stuff.
And
When
be
I
like,
top 8, I'm gonna hashtag garbage
you know,
hat.
top 8'd this. I got my garbage hat like a Red Bull, and you just have a little Red Bull next to like the
Garbage
big Red
hat.
Bull.
Yep,
And
exactly.
he has his own Red Bull.
The garbage hat is gonna be trending in a few weeks.
Okay.
When we knock out
I'll
some
like
tournaments.
it. I'll like it.
Garbage hat. But anyway, went 2 for 2, had a triple, caught some balls in the outfield. Daddy's fast. Triple was pretty good.
Were you? Be honest. Was it a real triple or was it a softball triple?
It was a real triple. What do you
Okay.
mean? I hit
I
past the
respect it.
outfielder and I went.
I wasn't there. I've played softball with you, and I've played softball, and sometimes you'll hit a single, and the person that has to get the ground ball, they'll go through their legs, or they'll pick it up, and then they'll overthrow first, and then they'll overthrow second.
No, it wasn't
I've played
like that.
softball before. If you hit a legit, and I believe you can, because I've played with you, okay, that's good. But some people are like, I had 3 home runs, and they hit like 2 in the outfield, and people couldn't catch the ball. Or
Then they
couldn't
throw it
in.
over third.
Yeah, it's like, that's not a home run.
I know how to score it. I've been an athlete since I was a child.
It's
a legit triple.
About. We will get into the format. We will. We promise.
All right.
But we gotta start the show with this. It's
Yeah.
fun.
But yeah, that's a story. So this hat is the trash hat. People were like, if you do well, you got to wear the hat to an open. And I was like, well, I'll preface it by wearing the hat on the show to show my appreciation for everyone who interacted on that post because it was a fun time.
Oh,
That's that.
So
Garbage
the Weekly
hat on the
Award
show.
platform is now utilized by the garbage
Making
hat.
sure that was on silent because if my phone
Mine will
rang
probably go off.
in the middle of the show,
That'll be good.
be a little bit bad.
Yeah. All right.
You just failed the final exam? I'm
Sorry about that. That's bad.
Ugh. Listen, I had a class in college where I failed. I had like 30 absences. I still graduated. I still got a degree. So here,
He is very educated.
it can be any. I'm the most educated man in the room. Realest
Hey.
guys in the room. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
All right.
man.
Anyway,
I'm ready to talk about some SCG Atlanta. You know, I'll be on that grind. We going to Richmond this weekend. You were in Atlanta doing the old Play Magic, see the convention center.
yeah.
And we're gonna run it down real quick for you. I'm gonna get out of the way. We got the man, the myth, the legend, and now the champion, Andrew Jessup.
They
You
call
said
him.
it.
They call him 7-Eleven.
Yeah, I
Because he
heard.
can't close.
But now he
doesn't
did.
close. He's always open.
AKA the better Jessup.
He
AKA
finally
watch
closed.
out.
They retired the nickname.
So, I like this dude a lot. You know, it goes without saying. If you haven't met him, he's very quiet, but he's very
Terrifyingly good at magic.
He's very good, and he's just awesome. Yeah, Capo, down. I'm gonna be there.
I'll be there as well, taking my shots at limited. You know, the daddy, 1 in a million, limited
D-Haas
edition.
in the chat. What up?
D-Haas
First
in
time
the
D-Haas.
Because he's, D-Haas.
He's
Not
great.
employed right now.
He's great.
Oh, he is employed.
He is employed.
That's right. I
Okay.
thought that's why he was in the chat.
D-Haas, you're great, and get at me
D-Haas.
later for hashtag swag bus. The train is
Bus.
leaving the tracks on Friday
El
morning.
Autobus.
Let's go. Before we get too crazy here, let's go over the decks. We got Andrew Jessup with Martyr Vehicles. You played the tournament. What do you think of the rest of the top 8 here? I'm not going to go ahead and give all the name shout-outs because, like, they're all
I
Martyr
got
Vehicles.
you. I'll do that.
Okay, here we go.
All right,
Hit him
Andrew
with it.
Jessup in first with Mardu Vehicles. We got Ryan McDonough in second. He's a friend of Brendan DeCandio. I guess
Okay.
they drove together and then they played in the top 8.
By the way,
Funny
Brendan
story.
DeCandio just, oh my God. But go ahead.
Brendan DeCandio is the real deal.
Real deal, Titus
Don't
O'Neil,
know Sam
Titus
Kalla,
Brand.
don't know Zach Stern outside of that he beat my buddy Mike Segal. So Segal was rooting for him all day. He was asking about his progress and stuff, and I
Adam,
noticed that.
you're right. He should take off the hat, but then we'd be
We got-
blind.
Caleb Shearer, or Brendan DeCandio, the master.
Caleb Shearer,
Great.
the man that only eats peanuts, apparently.
Caleb Shearer, who only eats peanuts and only casts 1 mana jackals for two ones
And
or
wears
whatever.
cut off sleeve muscle shirts.
Yep.
The one and the only.
Yep. Caleb Shearer, great. Congratulations to him. Sean Crum and Lawrence Vess also on Marty Vehicles. I don't know those guys. Great job, though. Kudos to you. We got 5 Mardu decks, a Red White Humans deck, a Delirium deck, and a mono black aggro deck. So this tournament had 7 aggro decks in the top 8. 1 mid-range deck. So I think I was right in what I thought about the format, which was that it would be aggro heavy.
So this is kind of tough because we talked about this. We had the show last week on Tuesday, and I made what some would call a very bold statement. Hey, thanks a lot, False for Us. Appreciate the follow. Made like a bold statement in regards to the Mardu Vehicles deck.
You said it was dead.
Correct.
And
However, let me get in a little bit.
And there wasn't.
The problem was they just made the announcement, and we were under the assumption that 4-color was going to be the deck. Like 4-color was going to be, hey, we're still here, and with the inclusions of the cycling artifact, hey, Manglehorn and all that, I just didn't see Mardu Vehicles having a fair shot at beating a consistent good 4-color list.
Yep, I agree.
And
I thought it was
so that was where
my
my statement was. This wasn't a Renegade map off the rails.
You know what happened after that, though? They banned Felidar Guardian.
It's true.
On Wednesday night.
Yeah. But we're going to get into that. I know. I don't want to get you going here. I don't want to get you going yet. I love it. I love it. Lender B, I think you're right, by the way. Appreciate it. We got another follow. Crondo. I wish I would. I don't know if that's like.
I think I know who that is.
Okay.
He's great.
I wish. Like, I just thought of Rondo, and I just got sad for a minute.
He's a Celtics fan. That's what it is.
Is he? Okay. Yeah. Well, your Celtics beat my Bulls. Respect. And what a game last night. But I just miss Rondo. And I want him back, man. I wanted him back. He got hurt. Okay. So, out of these decks, first of all, shout out to all the top 8 competitors.
Courtside, Heckle, and Rondo. That's a Jay-Z song, right?
Yes.
I got random rap songs flowing through my head. I'm on a rap
You're
kick.
killing it. But Brian DeCandio,
joggers.
Unreal. As I was watching him, and I watched the last match. I watched a little bit. I was watching a lot of basketball and doing some stuff like that. Hey, Keith.
See,
yeah,
told
Keith
you.
Ron's
I told you.
gas.
That's why I said I might get some joggers, because Keith Ron always wears joggers, and I always make fun of John
Thanks,
Rawson
Adam,
for dressing like Keith Ron.
For letting us know.
That's a little bit of the New England magic there. Those guys are all up and coming, solid players. So shout out to all of them. And Snook is in the chat. Doesn't he have better things to do? He's like a grown man now.
I don't know, man. We're still here.
Just here throwing shade at my hat.
He ain't throwing
Come
shade.
on.
He's telling the truth. Hashtag
He also hates the
Paul
daddy.
Pierce. Hit him with that, huh?
He says
Hit him
the daddy.
with the truth.
He says he hates the daddy name. He says that is stupid. That's what he said. That expert deleted is stupid.
Me and Adam might get along, actually. We've said
you know
hi,
what it is?
And we've played, I think, once or twice, but we haven't had some deep conversations.
The daddy
we might get
is
along.
the making of a legend.
Oh my God. Okay. Is this like one of those?
Love thyself.
I'm at lunch. Okay. Yeah. A legend, huh? Like Bagger Vance? You getting quiet?
Oh, the golfer?
Yeah.
I just think of, I don't know who that is, but I just think of Payne Stewart, and that's the guy who.
That's not Payne
had the
Stewart.
high
He went
socks.
down in the plane crash.
Yes, that guy was great. I
He
remember
was.
him
He's
from my childhood.
good. So, anyway, for those of you that are new to the show, this happens all the time, and we have fun with it.
No, come back! Come back!
But
No!
no, I want to get
I was just
into.
kidding.
I want to get into Brandon DeCandio's just prowess with Black-Green Delirium. It's incredible. As I was watching the last match of day 1 between him and Andrew Jessup, as well as a couple of the matches on day 2, including the top 8, just the way he's thinking throughout the game to sculpt it into a position to where he can actually pull it out is just incredible.
I wonder if he wears like black skinny jeans and a black jacket to like all these southern locales just to like sweat himself into thinking correctly. Like, I'm not really sure what this dude is doing. He's wearing stuff that like I would only wear if I was in like a rock band. I would never dress like that.
He's young too, right? He's like
crushing
22 or something.
Mid-20. I think he's like 27, 28.
Oh,
he's
wow.
a little older.
He looks young.
He's closer to the daddy's age, but he looks young because he's got that hair, man. He's got that look.
So
Shout out to Brennan.
So what do you
the hair game?
What do you think after playing the tournament? We can get into your deck if you want to talk about it a little bit, but what do you think was actually the best deck?
I think that Emerge is one of the best decks.
Okay.
I think Mardu's the best deck by a lot. I think that if I had stayed out of the draw bracket If I had not gotten a draw, I think my tournament would have been great. I think I could have gotten a nice top 16, top 32. Even if I ran well, I might have been able to get the top 8. Emerge is infuriating, though.
Sure.
It just, like, doesn't do anything. Some percentage of the
You know
time.
what else is infuriating? When you, like, try to, like, tell someone that there's, like, a good deck, and they tell you it's utter garbage.
Well, it is utter garbage. Because you built, like, a red-white human deck with, like, 15 3-drops.
All right, so this is a clip from last week, and it looks kind of weird because I'm, like, two here.
It's a 21 land, super.
Oh, this is
And
cool.
this is
This
where-
is like Mortal Kombat where he goes super fast and, like...
Just a ton of creatures in general, and just a couple cards.
You're going to just say this deck is garbage.
Definitely gained some.
At somewhere.
Gained some ground.
And anyway, what I'm getting to is,
So we're talking
this
about
is
red,
about
white
6
humans
to
here. So
7
we have
cards
4
off, or maybe 8
envoys,
cards, the
4
main deck,
Draven
off from
Specters,
the list
4
that
this
came
guy,
into the top
which,
8, and in fact the
You know,
top
to be honest,
4.
I have not.
And
tested
Kevin
it
was
at all,
like,
but
I think
in
this is just
theory,
trash.
it looks,
I'm trying to...
you know, like a 1/1
Mel.
for 1.
And you're just like not even paying
But this deck
attention. You're
wants to
just
be
like,
super
damn, please stop
aggressive.
talking. This
And I
is
think
so
with it being
bad.
a human, you
I'm
know,
trying to
obviously
Except
snooze with
talking
myself.
I'm trying to
Though.
let
Being
our
able to give some of
viewers
the creatures,
and the
haste that's gonna be
public
big.
know that
Yep.
this
Couple
that
gossip
this is a good
mongers.
deck.
I just wanted to
and that
fit
this
a couple
is
more one
you know
drops in the
something
deck.
that should
We
be
wanted to
looked
make
at.
sure we're playing something.
And obviously,
that
this was my
always.
first iteration. I didn't work on it for the tournament. I wasn't going.
You made me put this guy in there.
But
this guy's awesome.
I think
He is
that
good.
this goes
we're
to show
talking
that
Glory-Bound Initiate here,
didn't have
4/4
that card in your
lifelinker for
deck.
2.
I did. It's
Pretty
right here.
strong.
You didn't
And
when you
as you
first
can
showed
see,
me
there's
the
a
deck,
big theme
and I
with
made
this
you put
deck.
it in.
No, you
Always
did not
watching.
make me.
I think
did, I said.
I think
You don't put
Metallic
that
Mimic
card in
your
your
deck.
Anyway,
We're gonna not talk. I gotta shave again. I look good with the clean cutness.
the clean.
Are we gonna
cutness.
pull up the cut mocking my performance after we laud your skills?
You know we have to pull that up. Why would you ask?
Let's
That's
pull
just
it
too
up.
fun.
Let's pull it up.
Yeah.
Oh wait, before we pull it up, sorry. Let's go back to the deck page. Let's go a page because you know the top 8 doesn't mean that much. Like, of course it means a lot, but I really
You
want
want to talk about Seagal's
Let's
deck.
take a look at some of the decks that landed just outside the top 8. Let's take a look at this deck.
Yeah, Jason Bennett. I spoke with him earlier this week. One of my friends, Patricio, and he's a viewer sometimes on the show, and as well when I used to do the stream in
This is
Escafari.
good. I think this deck
And
is good.
he's played this to a couple 5-0s. He thinks that this deck is actually pretty good. And there's 2 cards missing from the sideboard for those of you that are interested. They are negates. And this is a deck that I championed a version of this early last standard. I guess pre Aether Revolt.
I think this deck is a jam. It's a
It's
good
your
time.
jam, right?
It is a little bit up my alley. I have another idea, like a Grixis-y idea, with like Collective Defiance and the
Collective Brutality.
maybe the other 1/3 that like if you discard,
Yep.
because you play like the 1/2 Jackal and the 1/3 Flyer that both get pumped when you discard.
Yep.
Then you can like Cathartic Reunion on turn 3. You discard Fiery Temper and hit them for a bunch. Collective Defiance, hitting them or their creature and wheeling your hand on turn 4. And hit them for like 10 or 12 damage on turn 4.
It seems good.
Yeah, if you can make the mana work on Grixis, I think that's a little bit more aggressive.
This is...
There was a dude playing 16 lands in his Black-Green Aggro deck. I didn't see that.
No, we could definitely get back
I was
to
too
that.
busy
I
catching
heard,
L's in the tournament. to
I
hear
heard about that, though. Bedlam Reveler is definitely an interesting card, too. You know, I've been big on this card since it came out. And I actually played against it earlier this morning in Modern for whatever reason. But I think it's a card that, like, what you're talking about, the decks you're talking about with the creatures, whether it's Noose Constrictor version, whether it's the 1/2, whether it's, you know, some of the blue ones that have that same ability, I think that this is a card that could definitely see play now. And with those abilities, with the cards, with the creatures that have the discard, this now allows you to be able to play this and not care about the cards you're discarding.
Yeah.
You're just like, okay, well, you know what I mean? Before it was like, you're going to put this in a deck that's like all spells and like maybe 4 to 8 creatures. Because you don't want to get stuck in that position where you don't want to discard your hands or you have counter spells or whatnot. And now it's like, this is just a perfect add-on on like aggressive decks.
Such a sweet card.
Yeah.
Look at it just like, it looks like it's partying. It's literally a reveler.
Yeah.
Like, look at the art. It's like...
Dude, you know what song comes on when the Reveler comes in?
What's that?
Revel Yell, of course, by Billy Idol. Not Rebel
Rebel
Yell.
Yell.
Revel Yell.
Okay, there you go.
In the midnight hour,
I go,
we draw cards. Woo! All right, so
Glorybringer's the real deal in this deck.
Glorybringer's the truth. Like, I've yet to play it in Standard, but every time, and I'm very lucky, so every time I get it in Draft or Sealed, I'm just like, Glory Bringer brings home the victory. And it's just silly, man. It's just silly. Like,
Hard's
it's
the
not,
truth.
you know what it is? It's one of the few cards that I can look at and go, as soon as it got spoiled, you were like, you must have thought of me. You were like, they made this for Dan.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
they took all his dragons away, they made it for him. And they did, and I'm happy. But
I
it's
saw
like,
it was spoiled, cracked open a Red Bull, poured one out for Colagon.
okay,
A
Cole.
little bit of RESPECT for
Storm's
Colagon
Fury,
there.
Storm's Fury. Let's get it. Not Dragon Lord. Come on, Dragon Lord. You can.
No, not Dragon Lord Colagon.
Colagan,
Although I've
Storm's
lost to
Fury.
that card in the Jeskai Black Mirror before.
Drink. This one goes up to you.
Drank. Nope. Drank.
Anyway, this card though, it's like one of the cards from the set that I really like because I think it's balanced and it's fair. Like, it's obviously very good, but it's not like oppressively good.
It is. It isn't. It's very good, but it's good in a fair way, and it's really, really awkward against Avacyn, so it leads to like some weird dances where like you might have it on 5 but not play it, and then they Avacyn, and then you play it and kill Avacyn the next turn because you like pump fake them or whatever.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
like there's enough tap lands in this deck that you can like set that up without really telegraphing it too much.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool.
I agree. All right, Jason, good job. 9th place finish. I
got
kind of wanted to talk about
Friend of the show,
Michael Segal.
Michael Segal,
Yeah.
or Mike Seagull, as he's called.
So this is, I don't know about this exact iteration, but it's a deck that's been showing up a lot on MTGO. Last Saturday, Temer Aetherworks Marvel won the PTQ online. It was actually Martin Dang's girlfriend or wife, I'm not sure. And while he was on his way here to start testing for the Pro Tour, she was busy, winning a
Crushing it.
PTQ,
There
and
you
now
go.
they're both going to Kyoto, so that's pretty gas.
Sweet.
So this is a version, Michael Segal's version, and there's been a lot of different takes that I've seen online. And what I like about
This deck is really cool.
what I like about this deck and some of the decks I've seen online is you see the Rogue Refiners. A lot of the people online that I've played against also had Virtuosos, so they could get to this game where like, hey, you have to respect their creatures or have some way to deal with it, and also you have to have an answer for Marvel and Ulamog, and it's very hard to be able to do both of those things.
I watched Seagal play a mirror match. The guy had Whirler Virtuoso and Bounty of the Luxa.
Gas. Card's great.
And Chandra. I think he had Chandra.
And
too.
Chandra. I had all these. I like Bounty a lot. That's an interesting card. I was looking for something in my sideboard actually too. For like standard moving forward maybe this weekend. So I don't know if this is the exact version that I would play moving forward.
I don't
But-
think Dynavolt Tower is necessary, but Seagal loves to jam his weird cards in the deck.
You look at the
His Torrential Gearhulks were good.
You look at the format right now, and with Cat going away, I've always been a proponent of Aetherworks Marvel. I've played it quite a bit. I think it's absolutely busted, and I think it's going to be one of the 3 or 4 decks in the format come Pro Tour. I don't know if this is the exact build. I am working on a couple other different builds with Bant, and I'm very Dinosaur Tower. I like that.
Yeah, Rudy played a Bant Aetherworks deck this past weekend, and I think he gave the list to a friend who won the Classic with the deck.
All right. Well, somebody was saying, is that I think
That one.
Yeah.
Yep.
This one, Nathan.
Maybe that's him.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Maybe
'cause
he's
it's-
just saying that because it's him.
Yeah, it might be. Hey,
I
well,
don't
if
know
it's
if he is,
you,
though.
if it's Nathan, well, congrats on 24th
I
place
don't
finish.
think- I
We're
think
pulling
he's-
up your list. Temer Control.
This deck is cool. I like Kozilek's Return. That card's great. I also like Nissa's Renewal. Kefnet. Is the
Kefnet?
real deal. Is
We
Kefnet
got-
in this deck?
No, he's that's Capo. He's talking about Temer Control.
Okay.
Um,
Kefnet is sweet.
yeah, the only thing I don't like about this deck is I think that moving forward, people are going to figure out that red is not the color they want to be playing anymore. You needed Harness. Yeah, it's a ritual. I've heard this argument. It's a ritual,
This card
sure.
is gas.
But honestly, with the cat gone, and thanks a lot, McMath1.
Thank
We
you
appreciate
for the follow.
Daddy Dab. I don't think you want red. Like, yes, Magma Spray's cool. Cosmic's Return's cool. I get it with the Eldrazi's. That's
Kozilek's
fine.
Return is dope.
But like,
So good.
You don't need to be like one for wanting people, and like unless it's a super turbo aggro deck you want Kozilek's Return. Like being able to have Fumigate or another Wrath spell is just like so much better in my opinion.
I like Kozilek's Return. I don't know. I think
Sure.
Descend Upon the Sinful is kind of cool. I think
That's what I'm playing right now. But look at this list. Just look
Cast
at it.
Out's kinda
There's
cool.
no way if it suffers from the problem of all the other old Marvel decks. There's no way of getting rid of the Ulamogs you draw.
you can just play like
Or getting Return in the graveyard without casting it, which
you could
kills
play
your
Cathartic
2-drops.
Reunions.
You could, but this list doesn't have it. That's why I don't like it. Doesn't have Cathartic Reunion, doesn't have Oath of Jace, which you could also run. There's a lot of things. I think like you want to be able to get rid of, especially with Kozilek's Return in your deck, you want to be able to like get rid of them and put them in the graveyard and get some looting. Other than that, this deck looks pretty good. I see Ulamog, yeah. Ulamog, still the Cecil's hungry. He's still hungry, man. He just keeps getting more hungry. But we're gonna see this deck, I think, take off a little bit, and then it's gonna be a weird balancing act because a lot of decks are gonna be, upping the counts. If not, they're already at 4 on cast
I like
out.
this creature plan. It's
So.
kind of cool.
Break the world down. Do we need to play Jericho?
Break the world down. Just another brick in the wall.
Wait a minute. That's for Oracle's Vault. Just another brick
Brick on
in
the
the
wall.
Dude. Hey, mummies, bring that. Dude, we need to do a spoof on
Bring
that.
those zombies home.
Bring those. Oh, that's great. Was there any other deck you want to talk about, Kevin? You played this weekend, so.
I played Blue-Red Emerge. Why don't we talk about Zach's deck? The deck I worked on. This is my list.
It's your list?
Or it's my main deck.
Okay.
Or 59 cards of my main deck. I had a second Tormenting Voice over a fourth Lightning Axe.
All right, here we go.
This deck is sweet. I got a draw, and it derailed my tournament as I just played against like Disallows, Cast Outs, Torrential Gearhulks, Ishkanas, a bunch of annoying things all day.
Was it a real draw or was it like a draw?
It was a super draw. Like
Super
draw. Yeah, we didn't even
draw!
start game 3. It was against
gross.
Jacob Law again. So I've played Jacob Law twice lately, and we've drawn both times.
That says something about both of you.
Yeah. 2 different formats, drawn both times. I think that if I could run this back, I would play main deck Fiery Tempers and a main deck Hazaret. Maybe a couple Drake Havens. I don't know.
Did you get Drake tokens made yet?
I did not.
You need to get Drake tokens made, like actual Drake tokens.
Like the rapper Drake?
Yeah,
Okay.
of course. And then, like, if you have zombies, you can get, like, Young Money Crew. You can have, like, Nicki Minaj and, like, Lil Wayne.
But this deck is not as bad as people say it is. People will still say it's bad. Whatever. I can't help...
Who says it's bad?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't
We're going to
stop
play
it.
a fun clip for y'all.
There's no Kevin Jones update.
No,
you know
no,
that.
we gotta go back to the beginning.
The third page. Do we have more people to look at here?
Kevin Jones, Kevin Jones' record.
There's no Kevin Jones update. You know that. Rudy Prescott, Robert Graves, the boss, and J.D. Clemens. And we've just found that Kevin Jones is X5-1.
I can't believe that he and Voss beat anyone this weekend with that. I see Voss might cash. He's X4 right now. He might top 32.
He is.
These guys are
He's
great.
having the time of his life out there.
Unbelievable. Congratulations, I suppose.
I was, like,
That is something.
feeling for Patrick because
Yeah,
at
he has
this
an accomplishment.
point, like, Cedric's so happy that Cleveland's just crushing and Patrick's, like, team is about to get blown up after the Utah Jazz just beat him. So I felt so bad for him, but back at it.
But yeah, that's...
Yeah, you did, Mike.
That's that.
Hashtag Mike Durzo. Thank you for putting it out there. It's great, and I actually saw it live. It was pretty hilarious. Peace, Sully's gas. We know it.
You know that people who are in and around our community are masters of clipping on Twitch?
I don't know, but
Dirkso clipped that. Andrew Harris clipped the Kent Ketter wear rest in peace thing.
oh, I believe it. Andrew's a very smart guy.
He is. He's down the street.
Yeah.
Catskill
Cruising
employee.
down the street in Mouse's phone. Real quick, E-Morg, I'll get back to you on the Marvel style. I don't mind people casting this as renewal. I think like that's fine to have 1 or 2 of those in there. I've seen Second Sons, the new one to try to win the game. But I think like the better way to do it is to have
with Marvel.
Yeah, it is, but it's kind of cute in my testing. I did 2 leagues with it, and like I 4-1 both of them. And every time I never won the game with it. Every time I cast it, it was just like, okay, I cast it, and then I won the game before that could go off.
Well, what if you cast it, you put it 7th from the top.
I know how it works.
Then you upkeep Marvel.
Okay, so I
and
guess...
then you draw it, and you cast it, and you win the game!
Yeah, but usually you're using your energy for the Marvel to cast it the first time. Or you're just like hard casting it for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And then like when you go to Marvel, like you have an Ulamog, like it was just like not very conducive to like the actual game plan of winning.
Yeah, you Marvel into Ulamog and you win anyway, and it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter what you're doing with games.
Exactly.
Life nonsense.
The main thing is the decks where there's very few decks at this point that I found that Second Sons is better than Ulamog ever.
You have to cast it from your hand, right?
Yeah, you do.
To win the game or both times?
Just the second time to win
It's
the
the
game.
first time you can Marvel into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you can rebuy Marvel by cracking... Oh, wait, that doesn't work because you got to tap and cast it.
So anyway,
It's hard.
Back to your question, Emork. I like having some kind of loot. If you're going to stick with red, Tormenting Voice, Cathartic Reunion are good. If you don't want red, you can stick with like Oath of Jace. But just have some way to like get rid of them. And if you're not going to get rid of them from your hand, then you just got to accept the fact that you're going to draw them because it will happen. And maybe put a couple ramp spells into your deck, whether it's Nissa's Renewal, Hedron Archive, anything like that. I think those are like ways to attack it. All right, we got a request. You want to talk any more about your deck? You thought it was good. You think it was better than your record reflected. That's what you told me.
I do. I don't know if the cards I played were all very good. Blood Rage Brawler is not where you want to be against like the slower decks because they just kill it. You're just down a card.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem great.
I just had a lot of Lightning Axes, a lot of Kozilek's Returns, as you can see by the deck. Reduced to Rebels, which weren't as good as I thought they would be. They're still fine. I would still board them in against the slow decks. But I just want Fiery Tempers to close games. I lost a lot of games with my opponent at 5. If I had 3 or 4 Fiery Tempers in my deck, I would have been able to close it out. It's possible Fevered Vision should have just been main deck as well.
Sure.
You do a little bit of a complete overhaul. But I don't think you need it. I think you can be aggressive still. You can keep the Brawlers in the deck, play Fiery Tempers and Hazoret's main deck, and then you can close out a lot of games.
Okay. So this is definitely a different take with the introduction of Am and Ket on an older archetype. So it's good to see some innovation.
Derek's Machine said it was good. It was the second best deck in the format. 55%.
Always trust Derek's Machine.
Although Mardu was dragged way down to like 51 because of all the mirror matches, I think.
All right, we got a request.
What's the request?
Lender wants us to go over some black-white zombies. This is a different deck. Let's take a look at it. All right, we're talking
Interesting.
30 creatures. We got 2 Planeswalkers, 2 Lilies, 8 spells, 4 Fatal Push, 2 Grasp, 2 Dark Salvation, which, by the way, this card looked amazing on camera every time it was cast.
It was kind of good.
Some of the main culprits here with Scrappy
Diagram
Scrounger,
Colossus.
Crypt Breaker.
Is
I played
Dread
against this
Wanderer
card
a zombie?
online. Dread Wanderer?
Is it a zombie?
Yeah.
Zombie Jackal.
We just love Jackal. You are a Jackal. If you're a creature type, you'd be a Jackal.
Creature type Daddy! Creature type Jackal Daddy!
So I played against this list online 2 days ago, and I thought it was very interesting. I think this card, Dread Wanderer, definitely helps it out a lot for sure.
The gold card is sweet.
The gold card is very sweet. You can see that that's the only thing they're splashing it for the main deck.
He's not
It's
playing.
Wayward Servant.
He's
That's
playing
it.
the tapper in the sideboard.
Yeah, in the sideboard. He also has Gideon. And someone was referencing, hey, I'm going to play Gideon with 10 sources of white. It's a little aggressive.
A bit aggressive.
And there is 2 planes, don't get me wrong. But even 12
that's
is
great.
like...
12 is still not good.
Yeah, it's still not good. So, but this is good. This is like a different version of the deck that Caleb played. Like an all-in black aggro. This is the zombie version of it. And I'm happy to see like another different deck. It's an aggressive deck. I think like this card right here is Plague Belcher is going
Kind
to
of a
be
cool
something
card.
to keep your eye on. I think
It's pretty interesting.
being able to go turn 1 this guy, turn 2 attack, they don't want to trade or with their servant or they don't want to kill it. And then you just Plague Belcher it off and now you have a 5/4 menace. It's pretty big.
Oh,
so.
we talk about Emma's deck. They want to talk about Jeskai. I want to build a control deck. What do you recommend?
Everybody wants to talk about decks. Everybody wants to talk about decks.
We don't have to go all into every deck request. I don't want it to be to devolve into that quite yet. But I do think
We will go over any deck for a donation of $25.
that is
or
not
more.
true. That is not. Don't say that. People will just stop listening when you say stupid things like that.
Kevin,
I'm yelling at you for your language. That's a rare one.
my language.
Or your choice of words.
My
whatever.
choice of language. That hat is disgusting. Keep it away from me.
Garbage hat's great. I smelled the inside of it. It smells great. Somebody who
All right.
who had it
Where's
must have cologned their hands.
Emma, where are you, Emma?
Top 32. I think
Top,
towards-
top, top,
yep,
top,
there
top,
you go.
top. There we are. All right, Jeskai Control. Do you just want... This is Jeskai. This is a way of you indirectly going, you know what? Someone else wants to talk about a deck, but it just happens to be Manus Rider deck.
So the most interesting thing to me is one cast out.
Later, BPAF.
One cast out surprises me, but everything else, I like the inclusion of main deck Forsake the Worldly. That's pretty cool. Does that card cycle for 2 or 3? Can you
Forsake
check
the
for me?
Worldly, too.
2. That's good.
Yeah.
I like a main deck Negate. I like some Essence Scatters. 27 lands makes sense with 4 cyclers. Yeah, I don't know. Isn't that too much to say? I like having some Avacyn's in the sideboard. You can't really flip it very reliably. I think there should probably be Gideons in the sideboard too. Maybe there are. We just didn't go down far enough.
Sure. 2
you slide
Avacyn's
it
in
down?
the sideboard.
No Gideons.
No
Okay,
Gideons.
All right.
Question,
Yeah, I think
2
there's-
Avacyn's, huh?
Too many
This
card
card
draw
is
spells. The 2 Avacyn's are
Hey,
cool.
Sager
They
54,
pressure
appreciate the follow.
planeswalkers
Thanks
and
a lot.
block well. I don't know how they get flipped. Maybe you can flip them with a Fumarole. Yeah, it's a little weird that they don't really get flipped, but they seem good.
So I think it's interesting.
Yeah,
like,
I think. I think
No, go ahead.
Kefnet should be in the sideboard.
Okay.
Control mirrors. It just destroys control mirrors.
Yeah.
Hard to beat.
So I like that Emma has a lot of different, numbers
Answers.
on some of these
Yeah,
cards,
yeah.
and there's a lot of ways to I think Forsake the Worldly and Appetite, natural appetite, is it?
Yeah, the appetite for the unnatural.
For the
3/9
unnatural,
card,
both
green
of those
green.
cards are going to pick up, and I think if you're playing white, this is just the better version because it exiles. So not only whatever, there's things that can dodge, destroy, but this exiling and also just being able to cycle, I think it's great. It's an instant. So being able to cycle this on turn 2, no matter what, and then being able to have 4 regrowths for it with Torrential Gearhulk is really nice. I think it was a plan based off the fact that how this deck can get affected is by cards like Cast Out, which I know you were shocked that there was only 1.
I think there should be 2 or 3.
Yeah, I could see 2. I see the second one in the sideboard, and I like that. I also like the Sphinx. I think this is the control, just game ender.
I don't love Fumigate. I don't really think it does anything.
Fumigate in
Yeah.
the sideboard.
There's 2 in the main. I guess you can keep
You
them.
have to
They're
have-
good against black green.
Yeah, versus black green they're fine, and versus maybe if these zombie decks pick up
They're okay against the zombie decks.
decks. So
But the zombie decks even have the Dread Wanderer and Scrap Heap. They get back 5 power right away or whatever.
yeah, someone. Okay, you're asking what to be removed for the
I would
cast
cut-
out. I think I'd cut a pull for tomorrow.
A pull from tomorrow and
I don't think you can cut the fumigates though. I think you do need a board sweeper.
I would cut the pull from tomorrow and I would cut maybe an Immolating Glare.
And there's not enough
Just gonna
red to run
lose
the
to part of
Slag
your-
Storm, the new Slag Storm, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Hey, Immortal, what's going on? Life's great. We're back on it on a normal day Wednesday. Kicking
Can
it.
cut one of the 5 cancels.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
could cut the third
I like-
Void Shatter.
I
for a
like
cast out.
Disallow a lot.
I do too.
Why do you think Void Shatter over? Why do you think the split here? Is there? What do we want to be exiling? Obviously Scrappy.
Scrounger.
Yeah, but this deck.
Ishkana with
This deck has
Delirium
magma
decks.
sprays, so it has that kind
Yeah.
of covered.
But
It also has Forsake the Worldly, which hits it, and Cast Out.
well, without Copycat combo, Void Shatter is I think marginally better overall
But-
than Disallow is.
Could it be a consideration you think on maybe Emma saying that she thought that there was going to be more control decks, and so versus the Gearhulk mirrors, you want to be able to Void Shatter Not the gear hole, but the cards they want to like buy back with the gear
Yeah,
hole.
Void Shadow's
So,
their
like,
first
Glimmer.
glimmer.
Yeah.
Sets them back a little bit. It's possible that's what she thought, or I think she could have been gunning for a lot of
Cap.
black-green decks,
Okay.
and then just saying, I want to Void Shatter your Ishkana so that you can't Liliana Death's Majesty it back, or can't grapple it back, or whatever.
That's the card I'm really surprised we didn't see a lot of.
Grapple?
Liliana,
Oh,
the new Liliana, the
I
Magistrate.
saw some black-green decks at the top tables towards the end of the tournament. I guess they all lost the last round of Mardu or whatever.
It's
but-
weird because when Eldritch Moon came out, Liliana the Last Hope got such a buzz on like how good it was, and that set, like obviously with Delirium and stuff, it was kind of cool. But now I just feel like that card, like all of the decks that I've seen that card in, except for maybe I guess the black-green Delirium deck, which I think it's still fine in, I'm just not impressed. I just mean a lot of the other Planeswalkers in different colors are doing better things, and like, for instance, we saw 2 copies in that black zombies list. Like, cool, it gets things back, but like, is that really what that deck wants to be doing? Like, I'm gonna play
Last
my-
Hope was in the Black Zombies list, right?
Yeah, I don't necessarily like that. I think
think
like it's a
Last Hope is
sideboard
sweet.
card.
I think Last Hope's great.
Sure, but in that deck, do you think it's very good? Like in the main deck, like when you're trying to play 30 creatures and just run your opponent over?
Just you might mill a Dread Wanderer or a Scrounger, and you get back a different creature, and I don't know. It's
I
cool.
understand. I'm not saying it's awful. I'm just saying I don't think it's exactly what you want to be doing game 1. That's all I'm getting to.
So if you ultimate, you get a bunch of zombies.
Yeah, you're right, Immortal. Let's do it. We haven't. We talked about how good it was, but let's give Mr. Jessup the due respect. 1/1
Yeah,
white,
let's look
tap
at their,
target permanent.
their
draw card.
innovation, their technology, which was cut to ribbons.
Cut to ribbons.
1 main and 1 board.
That was the most, I don't want to say surprising because the card, whatever. People played Mizium Mortars, and, it was good when that was in, and obviously the Overload was a lot different than this split card in the sorcery mode of ribbons. But it was no surprise to me, and this being a red-black card, I like to play red-black cards, that this card would show up. But the amount of games and the way that the games moved after people realized ribbons was a real kill condition was very interesting to me. But go ahead, give them the rundown, the metagame guru list.
Yeah, so pretty standard here. 2 copies of Walking Ballista, 2 copies of Avacyn, and 2 copies of Thalia. And then 4 push, 4 unlicensed integration, pretty standard. 1 cut to ribbons, the obvious for Gideon. 25 lands with 2 cycling lands. So that's, I think they've gone up a land than some of them have.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I like the Nahiris in the sideboard. I like the Sorens in the sideboard. I like going all the way up like that for the Mirror or for the black-green decks, whatever.
Stock in Nahiri went up 100% because of Cast Out.
Yeah, Nahiri's great.
Nahiri is like big time player now, big time. So,
Yeah, Nahiri's great.
what do you think about cutting the Sorens for the Chandra? Immortal's asking for Chandras. Do you think it's a consideration to not having a ton of red?
No, I think it should be Soren. I think it's great.
I think Soren's great.
You want to go big and powerful and splashy and cool, and that's why you Soren.
Yeah. Plus, Soren does things that Chandra can't do, like gain life, and be able to deal like 5 damage to things, which may be important.
5 damage to Gideon.
Yeah.
After they plussed it.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah. That's a really
Like
good
they
point.
play it on 4. They attack on 5. You just stumble and die on 5, and then on 6 you Soren and kill Gideon and climb back into the game.
Yeah. All right. Daisy's got a question for us. What do we think the percentage of Marty vehicles will be at the Pro Tour? With there being no standard tournament this weekend, right? Just GP Richmond.
Right.
So SCG's running that. And there'll be some online stuff, don't get me wrong. But the only standard tournament that is premiered this weekend that happens, I believe there's a Moto PTQ on Saturday, as well as a live PTQ on Sunday. At the
At
Grand
Richmond,
Prix.
yeah.
So
Where I might honored Hydra people.
So I would say my percentage at this point that is going to be on Mardu vehicles would be 15%.
I was going to say 20, but 15 is also fine. I think they're close enough that we generally agree on how the tournament's going to feel.
I also feel like it's tough. It's a tough question because are you talking about Mardu vehicles as it was prior? Are we talking about this version? Are we talking about level 1 and 2 versions that are going to happen now that this deck's a thing?
Yep.
You're definitely going to see decks go up on, they're going to go up on cut and ribbons, probably to 2 copies in the main deck. I think there's going to be a deck that looks like this deck, except is a control deck that just is like poised to just beat the mirror. And don't get me wrong, the sideboard plan, as you can see, has a lot of cards that can morph into that plan. And so there's going to be a lot of different decks. But if I was to, I guess if I'm going to incorporate every single deck that is Mardu and has vehicles, thus being Mardu vehicles, I would say probably leaning closer to 20 to 25%. But like the traditional build of Mardu vehicles, like this version, I would take as obviously winning the tournament, the new version. I would say that this can be about 15%, I think. I think there's a lot of decks that people haven't even came up with yet. I think the PT is definitely going to unleash.
I don't think I would cut anything for a second cut in the main. I think it's fine.
We're not cutting for cut?
No, I don't think so. I think Andrew would have done that already if he wanted to.
Yeah?
Card is sweet, though.
Okay.
Gives the deck some added reach. I like that.
Yeah,
but, this is a good segue into the Interwebz issue.
Interwebz. All right, we're going into the Interwebz. We're going deep.
All right,
Real deep.
so
What up,
Seagal
Seagal?
got here just in time for a rant. What's up, Daddy? We were just talking about your deck.
Yeah, we were. We were getting into it. Not that one. All right, Kevin Jones.
So,
all right, we're talking about it. So, hit him with it.
So, obviously, they emergency banned Felidar Guardian. After our show, a day and a half after our show, we weren't able to talk about it on the show. Now we have a whole tournament since, and it feels like it's old news.
Someone may
But
or may...
I do have something to say about that. And what I want to say about that is basically this. Like, I think that the idea of 1 to 2 decks completely dominating Standard is going to become the rule and not the exception. I think that the internet has caused information to move so fast in this day and age that we are going to see people's opinions just being thrown around at a much more alarming rate. And it's been happening. Like, good examples are GP Pittsburgh, that was almost all black-green, dominated by black-green decks.
Sure.
There was GP New Jersey this year, that was, 4-color and Mardu, and that was it. That was it. That was all you were allowed to play. People said, if you're not playing 4-color or Mardu, you are wrong. That was what people were saying. And Magic players like to be smart. They like to think they're smart. They don't want to feel like they're wrong. They're afraid to be wrong. Play the best deck because you're afraid to play something else and get punished. Feel stupid, you know? People want to be right. They want to make sure that they can hang with the best, and the way that you do that a lot of times is you play the best deck.
Yeah.
And this just leads to the situations that people get upset about just happening more and more and more.
Seagal's funny. So I want you to keep thinking of the topic we're on right now. Just keep going, but I want to just stop you just for a second and go into the point that you're making.
Sure, go ahead.
And so what Kevin's trying to explain, at least my view of what he's trying to explain is, right now there is just a wealth of knowledge, a trial of knowledge, if you will, going around the Magic community. There's content producers like ourselves.
Everywhere.
Every single place, every single site.
There's so many
there's
of them.
podcasts, there's events, and what happens is people are not making they're not making decisions based on their, based on the information that they're gathering. They're making decisions
they don't
and
really
statements.
have to gather any information themselves.
Yes, exactly. So, hey, if you tell me this is red, I'm going to tell everyone it's red because you told me it's red, and you're like the master of
Brad Nelson
red.
told me it was red.
Yeah.
And he gets paid to do this.
Yeah, so it's red.
So it's red.
And that's what Kevin's talking about. Like when people say there's only 2 decks in the format, and we got into this 2 weeks ago on figure it out.
This is what my article this week is about, by the way. Or a large portion of it is about this whole hive mind best deck phenomenon thing, and how bannings don't really help the problem because it just kind of reinforces the same thing where if you better play the best deck while you can because it might not last very long, and then it's just going to do the same thing over and over again. It's just like a whole bunch of silliness. The one prime example of this happening is right after Eldritch Moon came out. There was an SCG in Baltimore. Last summer. My feet smell bad. I'm putting them away. Sorry. And at that SCG Open, the day 2 metagame, 53% of the day 2 metagame was Bant Company.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
It's the most I think I've ever heard.
it's crazy. So much. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm not blaming people for blindly following pros. I'm not saying that like this is not like a daddy's sick of it or whatever. I'm not saying this is a problem. It's just the natural progression of things. And like it's actually good because if people follow pros, like that just means that people are going to listen to me. Because if you know Twitter voted 56 to 44% that I'm a pro.
That's crazy.
I had a Twitter poll because Todd Stevens was making fun of me. He's like, I definitely wouldn't call you a pro. We're in the car driving away from SCG Atlanta. We're taking Tom Ross to the airport, going back to our buddy Dave's house to hang out for the night. Thanks again to Dave and his wife for hosting us. They gave us an awesome place to hang out all weekend. We had a good time. That said, Todd Stevens was throwing shade around the back seat of this vehicle while we're on the highway. He said, "You are definitely not a pro."
Oof.
And thank you, Seagal. Thank you, buddy. I know. I'm always a pro in your eyes. The internet was also around a year ago when we had 5 plus tier 1 decks in standard. We had Bant Company, and that was it.
I think.
What
they're
are you talking about?
Just Guy Black.
Oh, sure. Well, that format's anomalous because the mana literally allowed you to do whatever you wanted.
Sure, we're getting
And the
closer
tier
to
1
that.
decks were like Rally, Jeskai,
Dragons.
Mardu Green, and that was it.
Whoa. Dragons was a
That was
tier
it.
1 deck.
There were 3 tier 1 decks.
No, there was not.
Jeskai
Dragons
Black,
was great.
Rally the Ancestors, I guess I'm
a
Abzan,
pro as well. Thank you very
Abzan,
much.
and Mardu Green. There were 4, sorry.
How can you not say Black Red Dragons was a deck?
It was a deck.
How
was
can
a
you say it wasn't a tier 1 deck?
0.7 deck.
I literally
It was borderline unplayable.
put 2 copies of the deck in GP San Diego. I top 8'd, and my friend Sammy came in 9th or 10th place. And then literally like a month or 2 later, both Cody Lingleback and Justin Wynn, the list that I gave them each, different Black Red Dragons lists,
Yeah, there you
both
go.
top 8'd.
Abzan aggro, Abzan control.
Thank you,
Tarka Red
Seagal.
was there too.
Thank you. See, Seagal knows. Seagal.
The 2 Abzan decks started to like blend together toward the end, and like Abzan control became Mardu Green, but then Abzan aggro became like Abzan Blue. It was kind of weird towards
Sure.
the end there. There was a lot going on.
You just don't want to give my due respect on the Black Red
I-
Dragons. It's okay. We're moving on.
No respect.
Back to the rant.
I mean that, and to talk about what Donut's saying because it kind of platforms me to what I was going to say next. I think you can become a pro by being a sheep. I think you're supposed to become a pro by being a sheep.
Yeah.
I think thinking for yourself
It's true.
is actively punished in this day and age.
Dave Haas, Swag Bus, and Chris
You know who
Giuliano,
can-
you did.
You know who can think for themselves?
You did, Chris.
You know who can think for themselves? The people who get paid to do it.
It's true.
Those are the people who can think for themselves. I can put some pile brew, fire up a video here or on one of the other sites that I work for or whatever, and I can play my brew in a league, and I can
Sure.
get paid to do it and get crushed, and it doesn't matter because I'm doing it on someone else's dime. I'm getting paid to do it. But the other people who work and don't have extra time to play a bunch of Magic, just pick up the best deck and play it.
Yeah.
Play a league or 2 to test it.
And
play
we're
it.
not saying there's anything wrong with that.
Most other people can't afford to think for themselves, be it
Yeah.
a financial issue, be it a time issue, whatever.
But-
there's only so much. There's only so much time to spend. There's only so much things you can do with your time that like I can't really blame people for not innovating.
Sure. So then, what's the actual problem here? Is the actual problem the fact that people are not the fact that people are like voicing their opinion on social media that is affecting Wizards and affecting their decision making? You still
That annoys me too.
Did you see the ridiculous statistic?
Did you see my tweet?
I did.
You add up the combined pro points of everyone that complained, and that's how you get the decision.
Yeah. Which I'm not gonna say you're wrong there, but I think like the percentage that what did they come out? They said the overwhelming amount of people that died by like 4-color decks just went up in those 2 days.
No, they said that
There was like a
the
joke.
Magic Online data showed that with the release of reduce, because I keep saying reduce to rubble, that stupid card that derailed my tournament. With the release of Amonkhet, 4-color or Mardu vehicles was no longer able to Mardu Vehicles was no longer able to keep 4-color Saheeli in check. They had like 1 or 2 leagues to base that data off. And people only had like the new decks, and they didn't innovate Mardu yet, and they just slotted 2 or 3 new cards into 4-color Saheeli, and that was it.
Sure.
That was all the information they had. Of course it was skewed. It doesn't make any sense. This is in my article too. Weird that we're talking about it also.
Segue Kevin's article.
But like, I think that this is like an example of the thing of just like the internet kind of following suit. And I don't know. I mean, what are you going to do, right? If the most known people in the game state their opinion and like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I understand why it happened.
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't think that it's not good to set a precedent where you can lie to your player base. You can say, oh, all this data caused this to happen. All this data that we gathered, we needed to gather more data, and then we went ahead and we gathered more data, and we made our decision in 36 hours.
All I'm going to say is,
Come on. Just admit that you weren't happy about the response that all the popular people made on Twitter, and it was such a PR nightmare that you were allowing this turn 4 combo to dominate standard, that you had Splinter Twin back and you couldn't catch it the first time. You get caught with egg on your face, and you just backpedal and ban it. That's what happened. It's not Magic Online data, because no one would make a business decision, and that's what it is when it comes down to it. It's a business decision. Sure. It's a decision that will drive your sales. It's a decision that will affect your company's money for the next X months to come. And you don't make that decision on 2.5 Magic Online leagues with all sorts of sampling biases in them because of the card availability, and people don't want to put a new deck together. They'll just tweak an old one, and like all the different things that happen with a new format. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Sure.
Yeah, it was record low attendance. It was not record low attendance either. Caw-Blade was record low attendance, and they still took forever to do it.
Yeah.
Caw-Blade was record low attendance. This was not record low attendance.
Yeah, but the game has transcended from when Caw-Blade was big.
You know what it is? It's modern. Is it? That's it. Modern is the world. Modern is the world, and we're all just living in it.
It's true.
Modern is Magic the Gathering. It's the only Magic format that anybody really cares about.
It needs to be back at the Pro Tour. I'm just saying that.
Modern is the most important format, and pretty soon, if the Pro Tour wasn't the promotional tour and didn't need to drive standard set sales, all 4 Pro Tours would be Modern too. Because it's the format that people like to watch the most.
Yeah.
40 people in leagues. 40 people. You know how many people are normally in leagues?
500.
No, like 900 or 1,000 or whatever.
It depends
Way more
on the
than
league.
that.
There's
Yeah.
500 to 1,000, sure.
Pre-releases had under 50 people in Atlanta. Our pre-release was small.
Yep, this is true. But I don't know if that affects like the cat banning. I don't know. But some of the decisions, I guess, what Segal might be leading to is the decision making on like bans, unbans. Just people are just kind of getting a little fed up with that kind of stuff.
I can't believe there's 4 cards banned in standard, 2 of which are uncommons.
Yeah, it's
And they're not even like uncommons that they gauge really wrong on like their power level. They're not skull clamps. They're uncommon creatures with comes into play abilities.
Yeah.
How do you get that wrong? How do you get that wrong that you banned it?
I don't know, bro.
It's a 1/4. It's a Deceiver Exarch. And it's banned.
It's not even a Deceiver Exarch.
It's better than a Deceiver Exarch.
It's a Deceiver. No, I can't.
It's a Deceiver Exarch that deceives us.
Blinks Arc.
It's just a stupid. It's a horned turtle. It's a cat turtle.
What was that? That was scary.
I'm going off. I'm sorry.
That was scary.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you should be.
I'm sorry.
Daddy is sick of it.
I get gassed up. That's what happens. I get all these fans on social media, and they go, I love the weekly ward. I love Daddy's rants. Keep it up. And you know what happens? They get me to do this, and I go off.
Yeah? Well, I will say this.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The Feldar Guardian could be the Mythic Rare, and Saheeli could be the uncommon. But the honesty is, Feldar Guardian is a cool card. Feldar Guardian with Oath of Nissa and with
Sure.
Planeswalkers is not bannable.
But you're never playing Feldar Guardian in any deck in Standard that doesn't have Saheeli in it.
If Saheeli is banned, you are? You still playing it?
No.
With
No,
Oath of
you're
Nissa?
not. No, it's not good enough.
Rogue Refiner and stuff? You don't play it in Marvel? The
That's like
Blinking
a
Oaths?
that's like a draft card.
You absolutely do. It's
don't think
great.
so.
It's a cool playable Magic card.
No, it's not.
Saheeli is a stupid Planeswalker, and the only reason
I
why
agree
Saheeli didn't
to
get banned
disagree.
and Guardian got banned instead is because Planeswalkers are the face of Magic, and they're moving Magic away from interactivity and towards Hearthstone F6 nonsense that's filled with Planeswalkers. And that's the real problem. And that's why everybody's getting mad. Because who wants to play against Planeswalkers all the time?
Well,
who does that? It's so
Saheeli
stupid!
is the face of Kaldesh. You can't just ban her. She has to, like, it would be fine to ban her if they were going to kill her.
You can't ban the face of Kaldesh because you made Planeswalkers the face.
It's true. Well, they're selling.
I'm not wrong. You guys are wrong. I have a show. You guys are wrong.
Oh wow.
Feldar Guardian is a fine
Here's
Magic
my
card.
elitist hat here.
Feldar Guardian is
So,
a
I have to
very,
say,
very playable card. It's not
I
a problem
told
at all.
you that they were going to ban the combo. You told me you're crazy. They're not going to ban it. You know, da 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 da. I am happy it is no longer in the format, but I am not happy about the way that they did it.
Seagal, that's because they don't know about our combo yet. Or your combo that you told me about. Olivia mobilized for war. See if you can find the combo in your brewing time.
Yeah, discard. Yep, I got it.
What's the combo?
I'm not going to talk about it on air. I'm not going to blow your
You're going to
spot
save
up.
it for the Pro Tour? You're not in the Pro
I'm
Tour.
not- I'm
What are you
not.
going to save it for? Spill the beans, Daddy. We want to know.
You know.
I
Why
know.
am I spilling the beans? Go ahead.
No new friends. I know
There
the
you
combo. I'm not going to say anything. It's Seagal's
There you
jam
go,
if he wants to
Donut.
talk
Hit him
about
with
it.
that.
But,
Seagal, you don't have to. At the quote number 5. All right, so any other thing you want to talk about in regards to this? Or are we moving on?
They didn't, obviously, Varys Dren, I'm sorry to laugh at that, but they just didn't notice that they did it. They didn't ban Splinter Twin and then be like, let's just put Splinter Twin in Standard. They just messed up and didn't realize what happened. And the internet found it in 70 seconds.
They
That's
did.
what happened. They didn't realize it. It got out the door without them realizing that it was an infinite combo.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I thought it would never make Standard. I thought they would ban it before, but people would have cried, oh, you never let us play this, and maybe it's not good, but guess what? It was good.
Uh-oh, Drake Haven. That's the combo. Olivia mobilized for war, and Drake Haven is like a 3/3 with haste for each 1 mana and each card you discard.
Yeah, okay. Nice combo.
No, it's insane.
Yeah, okay. Nice combo.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's a nice
You
combo.
just put a bunch of freaking 3/3s into play.
I just said it was a nice combo.
It's insanity.
It's a nice combo.
Yeah, you're gonna hate. You're gonna spew this
You,
hate at me.
you know what card's good? Drake Haven. Drake Haven.
Uh-oh, Drake.
Drake Haven and discarding, that's a combo.
Combo.
Olivia it's a nice combo.
Yo, yesterday, Seagal's got this other sweet deck, and yesterday this dude was at the store in Kingston, and he had just done a draft, and he had an Honored Hydra in his hand, and I was like, give that to me, and he was like, why? And I'm like, cause it's broken, and I'm playing in the deck, and he didn't understand, and he just gave it to me, and I was like, you gonna learn.
Oh my god.
And Kevin came in last.
No, I'm gonna win the PDQ if I don't day 2 Richmond. I'm gonna win the PDQ.
There's no way you're beating
with
me.
a Michael Seagal deck. I'm glad that he's here because his brews are crushing. He's an innovator. He's the new daddy.
The new Brewmeister.
Yeah,
It
how are
is-
you? You are like the biggest Olivia mobilized for war fan there is.
I love it. It's a nice combo.
Yeah.
Seagal, I love you. And I am a big fan, but you know what I mean? Like we're talking red, black, and blue, and I don't
Grixis,
know.
I dig the Grixis jam.
I know you dig the Grixis jams, but I'm stuck on what is it? Kelly Pickler stuck on you, or is it?
See how many
Carrie
viewers
Underwood?
we have.
We're doing
Sorry.
a viewer check.
It's important.
and we're going
It's
to.
important because it's gonna mean something.
Doesn't mean much. We're like. We have 67 views.
7 viewers.
Thanks for everybody.
What
for tuning in, by
percent
the
of
way.
our 67 viewers actually think that Feldar Guardian would not be played in Standard if Saheeli was never printed? If Feldar Guardian just existed as a blinker, do you all actually think that that card is unplayable?
I didn't say unplayable.
Are
I
there
said it
people in
would
the
not
chat
be
that
in
think
a
it's
standard
unplayable?
deck. You could put a card in any deck. But 4 mana for a 1/4 that you have to have something in play for it to actually matter. So you think it's man matter? Do you think it's unplayable? Like not unplayable, but do you think it would see play? Type yes in the chat if you think it would see play.
100%
Yes.
would not see play in tier 1 decks.
Yeah. Totally playable. Probably 60 played. Not. Would still be played. Sure.
Fully playable. Fully playable. There you go. See?
There's some back and
It's
forth.
pretty split.
Yes, see, that's a no. It would not be played.
No, a yes is it would be played. A no is it would not. See?
No. That's not what I said.
I got one here.
Yes, in tier 2 decks. There you go.
In tier 2 decks.
Tier 2 decks. It's playable, and I agree, it'll be in tier 2 decks. We got a poll going up. Straw poll. Straw poll.
That's a straw poll for you. Straw man argument that distracts everyone from the fact that planeswalkers are taking over the game. Sorry.
Planeswalkers sell the magic cards.
They
Unfortunately.
do.
So
And that's what matters. And look, I'm not knocking Wizards. I love Magic. I'm going to play no matter how bad the game gets. I'm just going to keep playing because I can't stop. Help.
I can't stop.
But,
All right, moving on here. We'll get to the straw poll here. We'll get the results in. We could give a couple minutes on the straw poll, so definitely get on the straw poll there.
But the days-
Let us know how you feel.
the days of yore, the old school blue-green madness, mono black Mirari control,
Now you're talking
Wake,
my language. Let me listen up a little bit.
red-green beats,
Ooh, okay.
zombie infestation, Tom.
An arid brush hopper?
Yeah,
Back to
contested
Derek
cliffs, beasts.
stays. Yeah. Oh yeah, now we're talking.
Those decks were cool. They had good spells. There were good spells and good creatures.
You're tapped out? Okay, I'll cast Upheaval and float 3 mana. Here's the Psych Attack. Go.
Yeah, it was a cool deck.
Is that good?
It was probably oppressive too, but it was cool.
Yeah. You put the little
You know what's not cool?
zombie in.
Third turn Chandra Torture Defiance. You know what's not cool? Gideon.
It's
It's
true.
not cool. I don't care how many kids dress up as Gideon. It's not cool.
Great.
It's annoying.
Kids dress up as Gideon.
Probably.
What are you talking about?
That's the idea, right? Marketability. A hero, a face for the game.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Chandra, Nahiri. People identify with these characters. They want to feel some sort of affinity for them. That's the plan, right? That's why Planeswalkers exist.
True, true. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
They're like the
I like Planeswalkers, but I would like them a lot more if, and this is something
they're
that...
like the faces. They're
Was-
like your wrestlers.
Yeah,
They're they drive the storyline.
it's true. My wrestlers.
Vote is tied.
Yeah, so there you go. We're both right.
If Upheaval is cool, then I'm Miles Davis. How is Upheaval not cool? You know what people do in Cube? They just first pick Upheaval all the time.
I know Kevin's like, oh, these Planeswalkers are oppressive, but it's okay to return all of your opponent's permanents and then kill them the following turn. That's okay. No big deal.
I think it's more okay because it's a narrow thing that is hard to do
Okay.
and can be beaten.
I agree, and I also think it's something that like you can deal with, and what you're talking about is an early Planeswalker is unanswerable. And something that we've heard, and people have talked about this on the internet, and it was on a podcast that we both listened to. Hashtag the game.
Game.
Game. That's game.
That's game.
What would you do if they just said, you know what? You could just have one Gideon. You could have one Nahiri.
What did Majors want to
You
make
can
it legendary or whatever?
one Chandra in your deck. That's it.
That's fine.
I think so too, and I think that's
it
good
almost,
for
it
storyline
almost
too.
fixes the problem.
And it makes Planeswalkers cheaper to buy because you no longer need 4. So MTG Finance, where's that at?
What are the
People
results
would
of the poll?
be really hurting on that end because it'd be like you don't need 4-ofs for that, and like rares would get more expensive
Yeah.
because the rares would be more sought after than the mythics. You just need 1, or maybe it's weird and the mythics go to like $50. Weird. I don't
We
know.
got asked if we're going to the shop tonight for the modern.
Are we going to the
I am.
shop tonight?
I'm gonna
I'll
play
take
the
you
modern.
to the magic shop.
Let you play all these 2-drops, right?
Yeah, there you go.
One
Are we
taste
gonna
of what I
go?
got.
Wayne Gretzky, what up?
Can you see that?
You're going. I think I'm going.
You were thinking about going
I
because
think.
there's the anchor afterwards.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss that.
Oh, the anchor. That's
Yeah.
true. They do have good burgers. Okay, I'm going. I'm sold. I'm
All
going.
right,
I'm
all
sold.
right, all right.
All right, all right, all right.
All right, all right, all right. Ladies, Phil, what's cooler than
All right,
being
straw
cool?
poll. Straw poll.
Gideon, not.
Here comes straw poll. Straw poll. We're dragging. Where do we drag it? We're dragging.
What is happening
No,
right now?
we can't on the green screen.
I can't see it at all.
Production manager.
No, on this screen.
Yeah, can't see it. We see that. I see a
Something's
box.
happening. Something real weird is happening.
No, not again.
How many viewers did we
Cover
lose
up
when I
Kevin.
started screaming?
Please cover up Kevin.
I'm hidden.
Result is 50-50.
50.
Literal 50-50?
All right. Well,
That's funny.
you know,
That's real funny.
you know what's really hilarious?
We
started,
got 5 more viewers since I started yelling.
Yeah. Stop yelling.
So-
You know what we did? We
What
did
we
something crazy, and I love when things like this come together and they just happen randomly. It's so cool. We started the show with 10. Ty Dillinger, he's the perfect 10. We're the perfect 10. Guess what? One of his finisher moves is. His name's Ty
Upheaval?
Dillinger. We got a tie. His finisher is the tiebreaker.
Oh, tiebreaker.
So we need one more person to break the tie.
One more vote for the
Protein
tiebreaker.
shake!
I will send in the mail
Whoa,
a
whoa, whoa,
signed
whoa, whoa.
Mantis Rider to the first person to get in there and vote who hasn't voted yet.
But wait a minute. What about all the other people that already voted? Are you not going to send them anything?
No, I
So
don't
their
have
vote doesn't count.
that many Mantis Riders.
I'm playing with social media here. If you don't make everyone happy, then
The result changed.
Did you vote?
and the winner is
The winner is playable.
Oh! And now I fade into
Daddy West
darkness.
Side.
Goodbye, y'all.
Daddy!
It's nice knowing you.
Tied again.
Bye. Ah!
It's tied again.
It's tied. I'm back. And I'm back. All right, keep it going, Scott. At the end of the show, for those of you that don't know, we're doing the straw poll. Get in there.
Oh, this is
Let
awesome.
us know.
We should do a poll in every episode.
Wow.
Dude, look at this. It's fun.
Quote unquotes from the daddy. We should do a poll every show. Are you going to learn how to do the pole dancing? Pole dancing.
Oh, wait. The poll ended, so
This
it's
part
time
is-
for a pole dance.
Do, 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 do. Dude, if you really
Hashtag
GM
pole
Doc,
dance.
what up?
I'm skiing with my ski poles. It's a ski pole dance.
Oh my god. All right.
All right.
We're gonna end the show in a little bit. We're gonna keep the straw poll on there. We're gonna go over not too much, but I just want to talk a little bit about this weekend's events. So I'll pull up the little page here. Boom, Richmond.
God, that segment was fun.
That was cool. Grand Prix
Awesome.
Richmond. Have you played a lot of limited?
No.
I've been taking
I
this.
went 8-1 at the pre-release.
Ooh, okay. I
Over the pre-release weekend.
I went 7-1. 6-1, excuse me.
You know
I
where my
played
1L was?
not to me.
Draft.
Really? So Seal Pool was good, or
Oh no, so I went 9-1. My bad.
okay?
9-1.
Buffering the stats?
8-0 in matches played in the sealed, and 1-1 in draft.
Buffering the stats over here. So initial take on the format. I've played a lot actually. I'm taking this tournament very seriously for me. At the off chance that I like top 8, I have actually a backdoor shot of qualifying for the Pro Tour the following week. It's one of those like storybook, finishes you hear about.
Mm-hmm.
So like, not to get into that, like what exactly needs to happen, but if I do well at this tournament, there's a chance that I could play the Pro Tour in a week. So I have to take this tournament serious as I do with basically a lot of the tournaments I play that are constructed.
Oh, you can backdoor into silver?
Yeah.
How?
So
Top
okay,
8?
so real quick, I just top 4 and then win the first round. I love when I say like Scott. We're bringing the production manager in on this.
Top
one.
8 and win the
I love
first
when I
round?
say something to Kev and it's obvious that I don't want to get into the exact what I need to do because people could care less unless it actually happens, and then he just specifically like brings it up.
Well, because it's interesting.
It's a little interesting.
That'd be like me saying, I can fly through the air. And you'd be like, well, I don't care. You're like, how can you fly through the air? Well, it's important for you to ask how I can fly through the air.
You could jump off a
Because
building
if
with
the
wings of
answer
feathers.
is a hang glider
Red Bull.
or wax wings or whatever, you'd want to know because
Wax
some of these things are
wings?
safer than others.
Wax wings. I just wanna
Context
be
matters.
there.
Context matters.
I just
What
wanna
is
be
do
there.
really well anyway? If I can do really well in this tournament, I'll play in the Pro Tour. You know what? If I go 11-4 in this tournament, I'm going to consider it doing really well.
Yeah, to me, that's doing well, not really well.
Well, that's doing really well for me. So
Okay.
let me have my
You can.
victory.
You can.
Okay, that's what I'm
that
saying.
wasn't about you.
Context matters.
Okay. Well, back to context here of this
But
tournament.
if you go 11-4, you don't get to go to the Pro Tour. So you have to do really, really, really well. Like, you need to crush it. You need to tell people what you have to do because this stupid modifier of really well doesn't actually mean anything.
I guess it's depends on who you're talking to and what frame you're using it in. Because to me, doing really well is top 8ing a Grand Prix. Doing well is making day 2 and having a shot at top 8 in the Grand Prix, but you miss. Doing okay is making day 2. Not doing okay is not making day 2. This gets into the points when you see people talk about D's plus, D's plus plus, D's minus, D's whatever.
All right, so here's the thing, right? So, you know who Ian Duke is?
Hashtag not talk about Richmond.
Wizards
GP
guy?
Richmond. Yes.
Ian Duke, brother of Reed Duke, employee of Wizards.
Is he really his brother?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I couldn't tell.
All right, whatever. You putting me on. But anyway, years ago, I was disappointed in one of my finishes, and Ian Duke said to me, he said, if you make day 2, you should always consider that a great job. And I said, oh, thank you. Well, I appreciate that insight. So I always gone by that. If I make day 2, I should never consider the tournament a total failure.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah, I think
They
that's
made it
fine.
easier to make day 2 now, so it's
So
still,
does that change? You think Ian's opinion of that changes?
maybe a little bit.
Maybe he was talking about the Pro Tour.
Because no, he was talking
know.
about a GP. Because back when he said this, if you made day 2,
7-2.
you were in top 8 contention at the end of day 1.
Yeah.
Anybody who made day 2 was alive for top 8, which is very different now. That's not the case anymore.
Yeah. Not playable takes the lead. That's right.
That was a long time ago.
That
It's probably
was.
switched back by then.
No,
Harlan just has like
definitely
7 different Twitter accounts and he's just voting
Yeah.
over and over to help.
Harlan knows the truth, though. He knows the
Or
truth.
7
about
different
this.
straw poll accounts.
So, from you haven't really played that much. I've played a decent amount. I think I have 5 or 6 sealeds. I like the format a lot. I think a couple things to take into this
Tie.
weekend. That's nice. Nice. Is that if you're splashing a third color, I think you want to have a couple Evolving Wilds or you want to be playing green. If you're not, then I think it's kind of a bad decision unless your pool is so weak that you just need to play 3 colors because of the power level of your cards.
All the trials are super good.
All the trials are super good. Even the white one is underrated. I think in the correct deck, it's really good. The trials and cartouches are very good together.
The white one's insane. The white cartouche is insane.
You
There's
like the
so
white one
much
a lot?
for 1 mana.
It is.
Just
The
costs
red
1
one's
mana.
the red one's very good too.
Yep.
It's like a lot of people were like, "Oh, is this a good hammer hand or nothing?" But I've been playing that and it is fantastic. A good friend of ours, he loved it the first week when we were starting to play a couple matches and get on Moto and all that. The blue trial, in his opinion, and after playing a couple of the draft archetypes and after playing sealed, believes to be the best one.
Which one is the best one, he says?
The blue one.
The blue trial?
The blue trial.
Blue trial is very good. I played with it before.
So I think just keep that in consideration. If you're drafting the trials and the cartouches, you're going to have to draft them rather high because they don't last. And I won't get too crazy into the archetypes because I still haven't figured out a lot because it's really tough. Like, this format is very interesting, and it's still brand new.
My one seal deck was like Grixis with double Enigma Drake, and it was just like, it was so cool. It was like Scribe of the Mindful, Wandering Death Loop,
Okay.
and then I would win with like a bunch of Cyclers and Enigma Drake.
Yeah.
I just attacked with like a 7/4 Enigma Drake and killed my opponent.
Sure. Yeah, that card's pretty good. The Swords to Plowshares, I guess.
Why
the
is it
resolve.
Swords to Plowshares?
It destroys the. It's the card that destroys. No, that's not it. It's the 1 white cycler, right, Linderby, that prevents damage and untaps.
Yeah.
That's what that card is.
Okay.
I like that card. I was talking to you about putting that in my red-white deck with the Combat Celebrant.
Yeah, you got to get away from combat celebrant. It's a
Play Croc, win the game.
tough problem to have, my man.
Yeah, Croc's good. The three archetypes that I've drafted the most, I think, would be the black-green counter deck. By the way, Nest of Scarabs is really good and underrated. That card's really, really good. The black-white, as well as my favorite at this point, the blue-red cycling deck. That it's one of those interesting decks that if it's open, it's very powerful, and it's a deck where you only need to play 13 or 14 land. So you're just playing a ton of the 1-mana cyclers. You talked about the Drake, the 0/4 that gets bigger for instants and sorceries. A lot of the key cards in that archetype are common and very easily attainable, as well as like the big cards, like the Drake's a big one in that one. The Blue Trial's very strong in that one. The 1/2 Menace creature that gets bigger for discarding or cycling. I forget what it's called.
Oh, the
the Jackal thing.
Flameblade at it.
Yeah, that card. Those are like, very good for this deck, and they're not really sought after anywhere else.
This Sentinel is the
So-
cycler, the common.
Yes, the Sentinel. That's that card. So, I would pay attention to those. I drafted a lot of people were talking about the draft being so much, faster than sealed. That hasn't really been the case, to me at least. Except for one archetype, the red-green archetype, the super turbo aggressive red-green archetype. I've come to find out that one is very fast, so.
Dan, can you help Mon Dragon 7 get to the PT or what?
As in, I can help you
Like qualify
coordinate
or
like a ticket
like
and fly
drive
there.
a car? What are you asking?
Yeah. Yeah. It's dragon in the name. I gotta help him, right?
Yeah.
I am like the what's the 1/3 creature that makes dragons cost 1 less?
Dragon Speaker Shaman? Is
yeah,
that his
maybe
name?
no. Is it?
Yeah.
Dragon Speaker Shaman?
No, wait, it's not.
No,
called
it's
that.
not that. The 1/3 from Cons.
Dragon Speaker Shaman is the
It's like a
the
2/2 or
2/2
something.
from
Yeah.
Scourge.
Yeah, that's not me.
1/3 from Cons is
I might just be Dragon Master Outcast because I'm like,
Dragon. It's Dragon something.
yeah.
It's Dragon Lord Servant.
Dragon Lord Servant. Yeah, that's it. Okay. That's probably what I am. So I'm looking forward to this tournament. I'm going to be driving down with
Yeah,
a good
Ball
friend,
Daddy.
Errol. So hopefully we're going to see a lot of you there. If you're coming down, definitely say hi. Come up. Let us know how you feel
Daddy
about
will be
the
in
show.
the building, hanging out
Um,
with Harlan all weekend. I'm looking forward to it.
We will be at the right here, Greater Richmond Convention Center.
It's an awesome convention center.
It's going to be fun. I'm really interested in Limited. I'm also, we got our decks packed if things don't go well. And
Honored
be ready
Hydra,
to-
baby. Honored Hydra.
You playing Honored Hydra
Yeah.
in the Drake Haven deck with
No,
Olivia?
no Drake Havens. It's just Teeper, Emerge.
I like it. I like it.
Noose Constrictor, Honored Hydra.
I told you I like the Noose Constrictor Drake Haven thing already, but Noose Constrictor is just going to be a powerful card moving forward. So, okay, we're going to end the show. What is the poll at? And thanks again,
And let's get a
everyone.
song on our way out.
We are, but first, Kevin, why don't you tell people about this beautiful bean footage here?
What are you talking about?
Let them know about our sponsor here, Kerwin's Game Store.
Oh, this is a great place. The best place in Sleeves. Next weekend, Modern Regional.
Bang! Hit them with it. Right
It's a
here.
5K, same price support as SCG Regionals minus the SCG points. We're going to have Kelly on site doing our artists, right?
She will not be on
Or she
site,
will
but
not
we
be on
will
site.
have her tokens present. You're going to be getting all
Okay,
that going
that's
on. Kelly did do the artwork on the playmat,
On
which
a
the
custom
first 100
playmat, we
people.
got
So
playmats are when we're not going to have coverage either, right?
we're still deliberating on the coverage. It's during the Pro Tour, so we may or may not. We were going to get back to y'all on that. But the first 100 people that pre-register or register, so definitely get online and do that. We'll be getting the mat
And some tokens.
and some tokens. So
It's great.
look out for that.
Entry fee $40, VIP package $50. If you're in the Northeast, come play Modern. Come play Modern.
Kevin, you're blocking the art. There you go. There it is. And definitely check the site out, too. If you're looking for anything between sleeves, cards, figures, we got every game. We even got comics on there and T-shirts. And as always, we're putting out content. We got our previous week's episode, and then we got some awesome articles by some cool people. Andrea Biaggi just put up one about Madcap Moon, kind of deliberating over a couple different choices with the deck. And
Look at how you guys managed to get this picture of Biaggi in an empty convention center.
yeah, it's great. They all are empty because he's in the top 8.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And that didn't really happen. Andrea, I hope you do get a top 8 very soon.
I don't think he's ever top 8'd, right?
Not yet. Not yet. But he will. He will. Mark my words. And you can see Rachel on here with the banner restricted update. And I actually, I read all the articles. I don't play Vintage. And I thought this article was actually a good read anyway, because it went into a lot of points that I could see transcending into the other formats. Mm-hmm. And it was a good breakdown on that. And I need to wear another jacket next week, because I'm like 3 back-to-back Wednesdays with the same jacket.
Yeah.
And that's just unplayable. I'm sorry.
Trash hat for
Right,
life.
so we said, where are we at?
10.
10?
10 votes for playable.
10 votes are playable and
Not playable,
not playable.
10.
10! We're ending with a tie. I almost want to play Ty Dillinger one more time, but we're
There's
not.
that Daddy Fairies video. Hopefully doing that this week. Stay tuned. We're going to get it up soon. We
We're
already
allowed to
recorded the
play
first
this,
part.
right? We're allowed to play this.
Looking for fun, informative Magic the Gathering analysis? Look no further than KerwinsGameStore.com. Team KGS has the best writers and content providers this side of Kaladesh. Whether you're looking for standard, modern, vintage, tournament reports, or deck techs, Team KGS will give you the insight and analysis to help with your Magic game. Check out KerwinsGameStore.com weekly for new videos and articles and see why KGS is the best place in gaming.